All right.
Whoa, we are back for the 27th episode of Home Mat Advantage. I'm Sam Herring, joined today by Jude Swisher and Jacob Hoogley for another whiteboard war. We're going to go Ohio State versus Penn State. Super excited for this one. We got some diversity here. Wait for the end to hear the answers, but there's some diversity in this, so we're going to have some good arguments, and
Yeah,
hopefully this will be a good show.
in the red, Jacob Hughley. In the blue, Jude Swisher.
Oh, yeah.
Step
Wouldn't
on
have
the
it
line,
any other
shake
way.
hands. Let's get ready to go. Okay, so hi guys, I'm Jude Swisher. Let's start at 125 and get right into it. So Ohio State, Penn State. It's this weekend. It's at the BJC, which is a really cool environment. They got fire that shoots up. It's very cool. But right now it looks like we're gonna go off WrestleStat for our matchups. But it will be Brandon Meredith, unranked, versus Malik Heinzelman, who is also unranked. But also they were talking about on Flow Wrestling Radio Live today that it might not be Malik, might be one of the Coons brothers, Dylan or Brady. I think it would be Dylan, right? Yeah, probably.
I think Brady's smaller, I believe. But maybe, yeah. I think Dylan's been the one like the starter. But yeah. Who knows?
And so that we don't know if they'll make an appearance for this duel. They haven't wrestled. They haven't been the starter for the past couple duels, I'm pretty sure, or maybe not at all. And I know that Heinzelman recently said in an interview that he was planning on wrestling here in State College. So I think it's pretty safe to assume that it will be Heinzelman. And let's go into the picks. Sam Herring, who do you got?
I've got Malik Heinzelman by decision. I think it's a good matchup. Like you see, both these guys are unranked. But I mean, it's a great matchup. I think Brendan Meredith might be a little underlooked just in his skill. I think he has some capability to do well. He's knocked off Devin Schnupp.
And Michael
for
Kolioko.
For this. Yeah, he did knock off Kolioko, who's pretty solid freshman out of UPenn. I don't know. I think Malik Heinzelman, he's so good at getting in on shots. And watching his match with McKee, it was just evident that he really struggles with finishing his shots. But I'm sure cleaning this up, he can do well. And because he gets in on everybody's legs, and he gets in deep and great position, but has really struggled finishing. And that's a position where we haven't seen Meredith really capitalize. A lot of times guys will get in on his legs, and he kind of gives up the takedown pretty easily. I think it's a really good matchup for Heinzelman. He dominates the hand fight. And, I think it starts off with the Buckeyes taking a 3-0 lead.
I think that Meredith, like you said, he's underrated. He's knocked off some pretty good guys. Obviously he's not having the greatest season, but that's because he's in the Big Ten. It's the toughest conference for a reason, right? Everyone he wrestles is All-American contender. So Meredith has a lot of skills. He's in the Penn State room. And if you're comparing the records, both Meredith and Heinzelman are actually pretty similar. They have similar wins, similar losses. That's why I'm going to take Meredith edge here in BJC.
Hold up.
It'll be close.
Hold up. Why? You just said they have similar records, and then you're like, that's why.
Right. Well, I mean, why not? Why can't you?
Well, by that logic, why not take Heinzelman?
Why not take
Where's
Meredith?
the line?
Heinzelman has better, or not Heinzelman. I mean, Meredith has better wins than Heinzelman does with Kolioko.
So Heinzelman is 8-6 against common opponents, and Brandon Meredith is 1-9. So
I'm looking at.
I'm not sure where you're getting that, because Heinzelman has Kolioko is like his highest win. Malik Heinzelman has knocked off D'Agostino.
In 2018, dude.
He's still beating him, and like he's had a good season.
He hasn't. Yeah, he's had a worse season than last year.
He's had a worse season, but I mean, this dude, I mean, I don't know. By your logic, though, it should lean Heinzelman.
Okay, maybe, but I think that they are both evenly matched wrestlers, and I think it's going to be
Okay.
at home for Meredith,
Okay.
and I think he's going to be prepared, and I think he's going to get the W.
All right. I understand that. So you're thinking
It's not like
BJC effect.
it's not
Like
like an
just
outrageous
home.
pick.
No, it's not at all.
It's not like stupid. Like, of course Brandon Meredith's going to
No.
win this match. But I also wouldn't be surprised if Heinzelman won too. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I just didn't understand like your reasoning directly, but I get it. Home night advantage is a big deal.
Yeah.
yeah.
We'll see.
So, I mean, looking at it for me, I think that, like you're saying, this is kind of a up in the air pick. I mean, you could go either way, and this match could go either way. For me, it's just picking the the guy that's been around a little bit longer, that's done it a little bit longer. And when Malik loses, aside from Spencer Lee and then a loss to Nick Aguilar, 14-1. When he loses close, right? It's 2-3 points.
Right.
And so he's in every match he's in with those elite guys, with the, beating Michael D'Agostino. Obviously that was, 2 years ago, but he's beat some high guys. He's, lost in sudden victory to Drew Hildebrandt, right there with Eric Barnett. There's some big names up there that he's been right there with. For me, it's not like I don't like Meredith thing. I've seen more of Heinzelman, and I've liked what I've seen out of him a little bit more than Meredith. He's been around for most of this year, but it's still more of an unknown for me than Heinzelman. And then also exactly what Sam said earlier, Heinzelman can get in on the legs kind of at will, and I think that's going to be a strength for him in this match. And so I have Heinzelman winning by decision. But this one could go either way.
Mm-hmm. And like they also said here on FRL, we're a lot of callbacks so far early in the episode, but this is one of the key matches that Ohio State's going to need to take if they want to win this dual meet. They got to get this one. They got to get 41. They got to get 57. They got to take these matches. So
it's crazy.
Win the close ones.
You have two huge programs, two storied programs, highly ranked guys, number one ranked guys on each side. And this duel is going to be decided by a match like this one where, neither one ranked. Yeah, it's crazy.
But I going back to like what I was talking about with the finishing thing, the fact that Heinzelman gets in on legs so consistently. I think the time off that he's had recently, since that McKee match, he hasn't really wrestled much, and I really think he's been spending a lot of time cleaning that up. And I feel like that's just that small adjustment where he cleans up his finishes, and he can really open up his offense and dominate if he gets to that point. Obviously, he won't be dominating everybody, but like the jumps that he can make are going to be huge if he cleans up that finishing game.
Yeah, absolutely. Finishing's really big, especially at the highest level. If you can get to legs and consistently finish, then you can consistently win matches. Interesting thing about Meredith is that he actually is underrated in scrambling too. He's really good at especially on single legs. He can spin around, get to that far ankle, extend positions. So hopefully it should be a pretty good match.
Hey, Jude.
Hey, Sam Herring.
Have you ever wrestled with him at NLWC?
I have wrestled with Brandon Meredith several times. Only freestyle. In parterre. Maybe I don't want to tell any secrets. I'll let you guys imagine what Brandon Meredith does to me.
Jacob Classic, NLWC, hide everything, no secrets.
Hide everything.
Yeah.
Can't see.
Exactly.
No, don't look.
I was surprised that we saw that video the other day on BTN.
Yeah.
That Penn State one?
Yeah.
That was crazy. That blew my mind.
Hey, Kale's getting a little more lenient, I suppose. Lets media guys in. He's like, hey, all right, you can look at this stuff. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. What do you guys think about that? Let's go on a tangent. What do you guys think about Penn State keeping it closed? Like, I can see on one hand, it's like we don't want to show you our secrets, right? We're the
Right.
best in the country. We don't want to disclose what we're doing. We like dominating people. On the other hand, from the fan perspective, it's got to be the most interesting place in the world to watch wrestling. It's got to be up there because there's so much intrigue about what
Right.
goes on behind those doors.
I think it's also a recruiting tool because, as a guy in high
a
school
great
coming
point.
up, looking at all these colleges, you look at Penn State and you're like, wow, they're having so much success. How? Like, what's going on? And
Yeah.
so if you're one of those top guys, you want to at least take that trip and see what the heck's going on, And so
Right.
I
Yeah.
feel like once Kale gets you in the room, it's probably pretty hard to tell him no.
Yeah, especially if he's interested in you. Like, man, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Be awesome.
Yeah, I was just thinking about this actually the other day. I listened to that 25-minute interview that Mike Mal did with Yanni. And I was just thinking, like, he is so open to how he thinks and what he's working on in practice. And he just is so open to everything. Like, he just tells everything that's going on with him. And I think that's his personality. That's a thing that he values, is just being authentically vulnerable. And that helps him. But with a guy like Kale, his personality, a guy like Kale, Bill Belichick, guys like that, their personality is the total opposite. They keep stuff hidden, and that's how they work. And I can totally understand both sides of it. Yeah, I think it makes sense, both sides, and I'm not gonna discredit Kale for not telling anybody his stuff, and then I'm not gonna discredit Yanni for being too open. I just think whatever makes them perform at the best, that's what I'm glad to see. And that BTN thing that they did the other day was really interesting. I've never heard some of those training philosophies that they have. The thing that I've heard from David Taylor is like, Jude, correct me on this, but what is it? He's never done more than a 75-minute practice.
Yeah, I think that's what they said, but I know that they definitely keep it short. I've also heard that leading up to nationals, they'll just take lots and lots of days off. Like with the mentality, like the work's already done. In the week before NCAA's, you're not gonna get that much better of a wrestler. There's not very many growths you can make in 1 week for the biggest tournament of your college career. So, why not just be loose? Why not be ready? Why not feel good and then perform good?
Yeah, I think it's really cool to compare that. So comparing the 45-minute or the 45-minute to 75-minute practices to when the Brands brothers used to go into the Iowa wrestling room and just wrestle all day long, and Tom Ryan went in there at night over arguing about a hockey game, and they would just wrestle all night until one of them quit. Like comparing that and the take the week off, take days off leading up to the nationals, to the Steiner brothers not taking a day off of 3 days for 8 years or however long they did that. Just comparing that, because they're both methods to success, evidently. Like Penn State has success and Iowa has had success, and just comparing those two is really cool. That you can see you get to success so many different ways.
Yeah, it's a special thing. All right,
but on to 33.
On to 33. No more talking.
Yeah, so this one's a great one. In some ways, to me, it's fascinating. These guys are both so slick, and you look at it like on paper, number 4 Roman Bravo Young, unranked Jordan Decatur. Obviously, this is really, really one-sided, and I believe we're all gonna take bonus points in this one. But at the same time, they're both so athletic. They're both so slick, and I could see this like Decatur sneaking 3 takedowns on RBY, and RBY getting like 8 takedowns. Just
takedown flurry.
Like these guys, this is going to be an entertaining match. I have no doubt about that. These guys both have the capability to throw the kitchen sink at each other, and I think that RBY is in much better shape. I think he is more seasoned, and his technique is that much crisper, and he's going to be able to out-wrestle Decatur. And I'm picking a bonus point in this one. I'm gonna take RBY for a major decision, but again, this is going to be a really, really fun match to watch.
I think he can major him. I think also, do you think there's any chance that they like just come out and they're just super cautious and they're just like, I'm not going to shoot or anything. Oh, it's just
so
or it's just start happening.
I don't think that's in RBY's DNA.
Did a pretty good job against Alvarez. Actually, I think it was Alvarez being defensive. There was a lot of times where
can Decatur do that?
I don't think we've seen it.
Decatur's gonna need to because I don't think he has the gas tank to hang with RBY for 7 minutes. But like that, you bring up a good point because I say these guys can throw the kitchen sink at each other, but they're not the biggest gunslingers. What they are really slick, athletic wrestlers. And so the technique involved in every single flurry is going to be interesting no matter what the score. And I've actually disagreed with this with you, Jude, before. Is just I would bring it back to Greco is what we've talked about and how Greco isn't as interesting to me. But you really enjoy watching Greco because of the little battles involved in the hand fighting and stuff, and I totally understand that. And this is one of those situations where the score could be 2-1, and it's literally just a stalling point and 2 escapes. And I could be fascinating with the entire match just because the elbow control involved, just all the technique that these guys have in their toolbox is going to be amazing to watch.
I just hope that they just go all out. I hope they tech each other.
Yeah.
At the same time, 30 points.
I don't see as much of a chess match in this one. After seeing what DeSanto did to Decatur, I think, well, first of all, I'll back it up a little bit. Obviously, DeSanto has an incredible pace, right? But I think that kind of overshadows RBY's. Right? I think RBY also has a very high pace and is able to score points very quickly. And I can see him doing similar things to Decatur. I think it's almost certain that Decatur is going to come out and get a takedown because he's done that on every single top guy. But even with that, I see him coming out there, maybe getting a takedown early, and then just putting it on him, showing who's the better guy, and can I think it's pretty apparent that Decatur still kind of has gas tank issues. And I think a guy like RBY is going to take advantage of that and push the pace. And I think it's kind of okay if he gives up, some points, especially if he gets taken down first. I feel like when you get taken down, it kind of throws caution to the wind. And then, he's just going to be all out for the rest of the match. I'm taking RBY by tech because of the gas tank issues for Decatur.
Okay.
And the pace that I've seen from RBY.
Oh, man. Penn State Jacob all the way.
Yeah. Picked one. I wore the shirt for you. You haven't even said anything.
I literally just noticed that. Jacob's wearing a very hideous Ohio State Buckeyes shirt. So ugly. Oh, so gross. I don't know what Sam's wearing.
I'm wearing Croft Institute. It's international studies at the University of Mississippi.
Wow, this is really, really great radio. I'm sure people care a whole lot. So I'm going to take RBY by major. I don't think he's going to tech Decatur. I think it's possible, but I don't know. It's just not as likely as a major. I think a major is something that can happen, especially because we're assuming Decatur goes out and gets a couple takedowns because they're just going to get in these scrambles and stuff. So RBY plus 4 points for Penn State. My score is 7-0. Sam, what you got?
I got the same. Well, no, I got flipped as you, but I got the same for this match. So right now I'm 4-3 in favor of the large cats.
I am 5-3.
Large cats.
I went. I I went with the tech here to try to give Jude's team a little bit better shot at winning the duel. But we'll see.
A little bit better. Yeah. Okay, buddy. All right. Guys, I want to do something crazy. Let's skip 41 and we'll come back to it. Last match.
At the
Round
end.
off with 141.
Okay.
Because
All
it is
right.
Cool with
the
that.
best match of the night. Gosh. All right.
I don't know. Gas Tank Gary could put it on. Gas Tank
He's
Gary,
not in
he could blow up the BJC and make it the best night of the match.
he is not
Best match of the night.
He is not in the gas station. We only have Sheets. And,
I love Sheets. I love Sheets.
Sheets, it's the best gas station. It's the best.
There's
It
none in
doesn't
the
get
South.
better.
Hey, Jacob, you don't have any in North Carolina, do you? Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you?
we do.
You have them?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Expanding.
you're so
Did you know
lucky.
Sheets were
You're so lucky.
founded in Altoona, PA?
Altoona, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I knew that.
You knew that too.
Well, welcome to Gas Tank Radio, hosted by.
Sheets.
My God.
Sponsored by Sheets.
Sponsored by Sheets.
All right.
FRL sponsored by Casey's. We're sponsored by
Oh.
Sheets. It's the gas
I would
station.
love
one.
that.
Oh,
Hey,
that
at
would be
Sheets.
perfect.
At Sheets. Get
I
us
don't
some-
have the pool
get us
that Ben
some
Askren does.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well-
It's worth a try. Sam, send a tweet out live.
Sounds like we're all close to them, so we should
Not
just
me.
host. Oh man, I was gonna say we should just host our next podcast all sitting in a Sheets.
Okay. All right. That sounds great. Sam, send a tweet like right this second. Everyone go
gotta-
like it.
I gotta drive.
We'll talk
forever
about
for this to happen.
149.
All right, 149.
It's Sammy Sasso. It's Jared for clearing. Jared had a close match against Pat Lugo. And
Yeah. Oh, hey, he almost beat Brayton Lee.
he almost beat Brayton Lee. He beat Cole
That was
Martin.
so close.
He's steadily on the
Yeah.
He's working up there.
He's
He's
Um,
getting
up.
better, man.
He's getting better. Yeah.
I just think he needs that offense because when
He's
he
getting
goes,
He's
he
getting it.
goes. But he cannot keep these close matches because he can't squeak them out. You know, if he's
Mhm.
having close matches with everybody, you're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some. But if you have a consistent offense, you can at least get points on the board.
I think
that's
what's
my biggest thing with him.
interesting. What's interesting about Verclaren too is that everyone seems to know that he's a Greco guy. And even if he's not like the most accomplished Greco guy out there, whenever you see him get into those ties with even some of the better guys, you see them really like
They're
pulling
like,
back and trying to
get the
get out.
shot.
Yeah.
Mhm. It's
So I
interesting
think it's
'cause
kind of interesting. Yeah.
He hasn't had very many throws in his career actually. So he had
Yeah.
his debut against Kent State last year. He hit a big
I remember that.
headlock
Yeah.
and pinned the guy like big. It was a big, or maybe it was a body lock. But then since then, like, you know, against Lehigh this year, he had an attempt in overtime and it didn't go well for him. But he gets into a lot of these like controlling Greco ties, and guys kind of panic a little bit. It's interesting to see.
Yeah.
But if you
Yeah.
can use that to your advantage, that would probably be better. All right. But I think Sasso, I think he's too good right now, guys. As good as Jared Verclearen's getting, I think I'm going to pick Sammy Sasso +3 over Jared Verclearen. But I don't think it's going to be more than a decision because Jared he's really good at keeping it close. Like we saw it against Pat Lugo. What was it, like a 4-point? It was like 5-1 or 6-2 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, you know, Sammy obviously has the ability to put it on people. But him being in his freshman season, we haven't really seen the consistency of him being able to really go out and bonus people, you know, match after match. And so with that kind of inconsistency of, you know, he's not really dominating everybody like, you know, Spencer. We all expect Spencer to go out there and major tech pin everybody, right?
Yeah.
We
Right.
haven't seen consistency like that yet out of Sammy. And along with that, I think we all know Jared Verclaren is a really good wrestler, and his stock is rising, like you said, right?
Right.
So he's on the up and up, and Sammy obviously #1 guy in the country right now. But I could see it being like a 7-2 or like a kind of a lopsided decision. But I don't see it getting into the major territory. So I'm going to go Sammy.
Yeah, I think that Verclearen's a guy that I think can be All-American quality before his senior year, or not like by his senior year. I think especially the way he's trending, like he's right there with some of the best guys in the country. So figure it out, Jared. I like watching you wrestle. I like watching you throw guys too.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
So everyone has Sasso +3. Sam?
Yeah, I got Sasso +3. So before the season, I picked Brayton Lee to win NCAAs, and that was pretty bold.
It was a bold pick.
I got yelled at by Sammy Sasso, and
he yelled at you?
I'm going with him all the way. Oh. Somewhat. Yeah, I was proud, actually. I was pretty proud. So, Sammy, if you're listening, you made me proud for yelling at me. But anyway, I think he's been making me feel confident. Just the way he's been wrestling. He knows how to win matches, and his leg defense is so good. I don't know how anybody scores on him. Just so flexible, that far side. I mean, I literally call it a Sasso cradle, so it's hard for me to describe it. But when he reaches over and grabs the far leg and is able to pull it up into his chest, that's just so clean, and he gets that on so many people. Mm-hmm. I could really see this match opening up into a major. His back point potential from that defense is so high. The thing is, Verclearen doesn't shoot much, so it's gonna be really hard for Sasso to get to where he is best. So I'm gonna go with Sasso decision. I could see it opening up into a major though. Jude, what are you doing?
I think
I'm nothing. I'm looking at my phone.
I think Sammy needs to yell at you again because you just picked the decision. You didn't give him any credit. You talked about a major and then didn't give it to him.
No, I'm saying he's not gonna get the major because Jared Verclearen won't open up into his offense, and so it's gonna be hard for him to open up into it. Yell at me all you want. Yell at me all you want, Sammy. I'm gonna have to see it.
Did you know Jared's ranked 17th right now?
Mm-hmm.
I did.
Did you know that? I didn't know that.
I did.
He went from unranked,
it's
not
in the
ranked,
doc,
number
man.
17.
He beat Cole Martin.
Yeah, that's a good win.
That moved him up.
Good win. Okay. Any more 149 thoughts? I'm not letting you. Good. No more thoughts. No more thoughts allowed. Okay, 157. It's Bo Piper. It's Elijah Cleary.
Hey, is it Piper or Pfeiffer?
Piper. There's no. It's not spelled P-H-I-P-H-E-R.
I know. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me at all. But people have said it before, so I don't know.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Okay. They're both unranked. And Jacob Hughley, I probably know who you're going to say. It's probably going to be Elijah Cleary because you love to not, even though they're both 2-6 against common opponents.
It's the Buckeye all day, man. Come on. Elijah Cleary is 13-10 on the season, and Bo Piper is 9-11. Now, you guys probably not crazy mathmaticians, but one of those records is in the positive and one's in the negative, right? Man. I'm going to take the dude that actually has a winning record with a 57% actually.
You're a math teacher,
winning percentage. I am.
Gosh, he's really going to do us like that, Sam. We should just kick him off the podcast.
You got to take it from the expert.
He's calling out us homeschoolers.
I teach Math 1 and Math 2, so a lot of algebra and geometry and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But
nice.
Yes, I'm gonna take the Buckeye here. I think this is another match that is, like we were saying earlier, the duel is gonna hinge on this. It's crazy that guys like Heinzelman, Cleary, Pfeiffer, Meredith, those are the guys that are gonna be this duel, right? Not Mark Hall, Vincenzo Joseph, Colin Moore. These are the guys that are going to be deciding the duel. And in this one, like I said, I'm taking Cleary. He's got a winning record. I think this is a pick 'em. It could go either way. But I'm going to go with Cleary by decision.
Pick 'em. I'm picking Pfeiffer because it's a pick 'em. Because I got to lean Penn State. It's just
no bias here.
Obviously, I mean, we saw Garrett Model. So here's an interesting. So against Wisconsin, Garrett Model majored him.
Mhm.
I believe he majored Pfeiffer, which we weren't expecting. I thought it was going to be close. That's what I picked.
Did
but
you pick Pfeiffer?
I picked Pfeiffer because I thought it was going to be Sharon Brock. But Garrett Model came out like a barn on fire. Not a barn on fire. Barns don't move.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Like
Yeah.
like a cat on fire.
How about this?
Cats on fire probably move very
Like
fast.
a beagle that's backed into a porcupine.
Oh, that would probably go
Ooh.
pretty fast. Is that a Southern expression, Sam?
Learned it from the Andy Griffith Show.
I love the Andy Griffith Show.
Except it's a hound dog. It's a hound dog to back into a porcupine. Yeah.
Okay,
it's a hound dog.
Nice. But I don't think that was Pfeiffer looking bad. I think that was Garrett Model looking really good because Garrett just attacked the whole time. I don't think this is anything off of Pfeiffer. I think that was a raising of Model's stock more than anything. So I think that I'm going to take Pfeiffer +3 here. Brings it up to Penn State 10, Ohio State 3 because we skipped 41.
I will say, so I'm not like Penn State hating here at all when I say this, but Pfeiffer has kind of really disappointed me. The first I heard, honestly, was Southern Scuffle last year, right?
Mhm.
Was that last year? Southern Scuffle
Yes.
made the finals, right?
2019. Yeah.
As the backup makes the finals with Nolf, and I'm thinking, wow, this is awesome. The future is really bright here, even when Nolf leaves.
They've got some good depth.
And I was excited to see him, and I was thinking when this year came around, I'm like, all right, cool, Piper's the for sure starter, and then it's just not been that way. He's been fighting for a spot at 49, 57, and has not really done great. And so I expected more from him.
Yeah. Well, it's hard because I'm pretty sure he's a sophomore or a junior. I'm pretty sure he's an underclassman. I could be so wrong. But also like he had to step up this year, right? He wrestled as Joseph's backup the past couple years, and he had to make a descent and cut. And people are counting on him, right? Because now they're like, hey, we need the guys who maybe aren't the national champs. We need you guys to step up and get us team points. And so there's probably some pressure on him. And it's, I think this is going to be something that Pfeiffer is going to have to figure out for himself. And I don't know if we'll ever be able to put a label on like how good he is, because only he really knows how good he is, right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, he's actually a redshirt junior, so he's been in college for 4 years.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Delete the episode.
More you know.
It's over. All right. Well, let's move off of that one because wait, did we get Sam's pick?
Sam,
No.
give your pick.
No.
I'm with Cleary. I pretty much word for word agree with Jacob here. Pfeiffer's been a disappointment really this last season. To me,
Whoa!
I had
So mean.
I just
Man.
repeated
Disappointment
exactly
like
what
that?
Jacob said.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're
Well,
Sam, and he's Jacob.
All right. He has
Take it
not
from the
met-
expert, man.
He has not met my expectations for this season. And like I felt like he could be a good replacement for Berge. And obviously he's not going to live up to what Berge can do. But I thought he's going to be better than he is, and he's just not living up to it. Cleary's been looking good this season. Cleary's been looking pretty good. Tight one with Caleb Young, which a lot of people wrestle tight ones with Caleb Young, but he's been wrestling pretty well, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him take this win. Let me add up my score, see what we got so far.
Okay.
Who?
So
while
we're
you're
skipping
doing that,
41.
Yeah. Has anybody heard anything about Berge?
I'm hearing concussion.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hearing.
But
I actually probably shouldn't say what I'm hearing, just in case Penn State people get mad at me. Zip lips.
stop
away.
doing that to us, man.
Sorry.
Like, just either don't say anything all, or tell
Well,
us?
I'm not very smart. All right, I speak before I think.
You're that guy that's constantly like, "Oh, I know something, but I'm not gonna tell
No,
you."
I'm not. It's not that.
I know
I'm just
something you
dumb.
don't know.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're just gonna go to 65 now. Uh,
I think my score is 10-4 right now, or 10-3.
10-6 because you're picking Heinzelman, right?
I picked
Oh,
Heinzelman.
whoa!
I
Spoilers. You can't say that. You can't put 41's pick numbers in there.
didn't put 41s in there.
Hey, dude. I think right now. You're picking Heinzelman, Sasso, Cleary. So, oh, this makes me not happy at all.
So
This
right
makes me
now,
Hold up.
now I'm not.
Right now-
I'm not
Right
happy.
now I have
So,
it
You're right.
10-4 Ohio State.
Now I'm
Calm
sad.
down.
Now I'm really mad.
Calm down. Why? Are you okay?
I was. Never mind. It's okay. Now I'm sad. Just go with
did
it.
it
Go with
again.
the dang. I did it again.
Again.
Go with the dang
did you do?
165.
All right, let's go 165.
Like
So
you're talking about Penn
starting
State.
at 165, got Vincenzo Joseph, number one guy in the country. Undisputed, just took out Alex Marinelli last week or the week before. Great match. He's going to be he's been going up against number 14 Ethan Smith. Ethan Smith has been ranked a lot higher than 14 this season.
Yes.
Maybe as high as 6th. Is he 6th or 8th or something like that?
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Ethan Smith, 4-time Ohio State champion, and he's been wrestling great this year. He's a guy that's been kind of fighting to get in the starting lineup over the last couple of years. I think he finally found his spot at 165. He looks good. He's got pop. He's beating top guys. He took out David McFadden earlier this year.
Yeah.
He's beat a lot of high level guys. However, it's not going to happen this weekend.
Sorry.
Vincenzo Joseph. Yeah, I'm sorry, but Vincenzo Joseph. So I will be one to admit I have not been the biggest of Vincenzo over the last couple of years, just because he's one of those guys where I feel like he obviously wins the matches, but like I think there's more there that he can give. Right? He'll win matches where it's a couple point win, and I'm thinking he should be the guy out here majoring people or teching people, pinning people. Not like he doesn't, but I just feel like he kind of got comfortable for a little bit.
Yeah.
And this year, I've seen him really putting forth that extra effort. I don't know if it's like senior year, last ride, or what, but he's really kind of been putting it on people. He beat the crap out of Evan Wick last week.
Oh my God.
And, that was messy.
Yeah, I expected the win. I expected the win, but I expect like a 5-2 or something.
I thought Wick was a
maybe
terrible
kinda like
matchup for him.
Everyone does. I think the meatball versus the spaghetti. The meatball, the spaghetti.
I just
Now
expected
you're body
it to
shaming.
They're just different people. Keep going.
just call the 2-time national champion a meatball.
That's
So
his nickname.
really,
That's what we call him.
I-
That's
No,
what your house
nickname
called.
his nickname
I
is Captain
hope he's
Smooth.
listening. I hope he's listening, and I hope that next time you guys have a dodgeball game or
Oh.
whatever over there.
One time he hit me in the
I hope
chest,
he
and I
just
thought my
sickles
ribs
you out.
broke.
But yeah, so with that, I was really going back and forth this week. I was really wanting to pick just a decision, because I have a lot of respect for Ethan Smith, but at the end of the day, it's again, no shade towards Ethan Smith. It's 100% what I've seen from Vincenzo over the last couple of weeks. Beating Marinelli, demolishing Evan Wick. I think that he's on a rampage, and I think that it's going to culminate in another national title. So I'm going to pick Vincenzo by major decision.
I think
I'm
so
in the
too.
same boat.
Vincenzo +4, for all the
Me too.
reasons listed above.
Great radio.
All right. 174. It's Mark Hall, and it is. I'm sorry. It's in the dock.
Caleb Romero?
Caleb Romero. I blanked.
Wow.
What's
Bad
his rank?
radio.
What's his rank right now?
7.
What do we have in the doc? 7?
7. So interesting thing. Mark Hall just went up against Devin Skatska, who was ranked number 8.
Right?
And I believe he beat him like 7-4.
Really?
Pretty.
Skatska's good.
Skatska is good. It was a pretty close decision as far as it goes. But we've seen Mark Hall have close decisions. Like he always has close ones with Amin. He has close ones with Mikey Labriola. He has close ones with
Not last time.
Not last time, but like historically, he gets his hand raised, but he does have close matches. So I don't think it's absurd to pick Hall +3 here, but I think that if the match is going to be as close as you guys think it's going to be, I think he's going to go out guns blazing, try to get 4. Also, every time he's been in the BJC, I think he's gotten a pin. I think he's gotten 2 pins in the BJC.
That's an interesting stat.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Because I remember, really? What was it? It was against Iowa. Yeah, it was Iowa last time he was in the BJC. Chenzo just lost. He goes out there and hits this vicious headlock, 30 seconds into the match, gets the pin. That. He walks off. Bo runs out, hits another headlock, and gets a pin and runs out. So just interesting stat. He's 0 for 2 in Carver, but he might be 2-0 in BJC. So.
Well, if you want to talk about throws, he's 0 for throws against Michael Kimmerer. So.
Wow.
Even though it was a bomb, it just didn't work out for him.
It was a bomb.
Yeah. But
throws against Michael Kimmerer. All right. Didn't know this was Ohio State podcast or Iowa podcast.
It is not. It is Ohio State. The Buckeyes are doing well in this duel for me so far. I'm obviously going to take Mark Hall. I'm going to take Mark Hall by major decision here. I think that he's really trying to get back on track after that loss to Michael Kimmerer. Mm-hmm. And I like Romero a lot, but I think Romero's kind of a one-trick pony. There's not much there on top. And when he's on his feet, it's just that double. He's got a really good Burroughs double leg, but he's not going to hit that on Mark Hall.
Mark Hall's hips are really good.
Yeah, he's not gonna get close to finishing that at all. And I can see Mark Hall scoring bunches of points. Major decision. However, I will say that I didn't any pins in this duel, but if there is one, I can see it being here. Right, I can see this being. The duel's coming down to the end. Maybe the score is pretty close. The senior's trying to get extra points for his team. Not going to pick it. I'm going to pick major decision, but I will say that I could see a pin here. I could see it happening. So
I can see it as well. All right, Sam, do you have thoughts?
Yeah, I'm going Mark Hall, obviously, but I'm going decision. I think Caleb Romero is really good at wrestling guys tight. And Mark Hall sometimes accepts that. I think a guy like Nick Lee, he can wrestle maybe like a Max Mirren type of guy who slows the match down and wrestles tight matches. But I think Mark Hall can kind of let that happen to him. So like what I was saying is Nick Lee, wrestling a guy like Max Mirren, he'll still open it up and score as many points as he can. And he can get bonus points. I'm feeling like Mark Hall wrestling one of those wrestling a tight guy, he'll go with him and he'll wrestle a tight match and try to sneak out a couple takedowns. And I can see that happening. Caleb Romero's a tough guy. And, I'm taking the decision on this match.
Yeah, like I said, he's historically had close matches with a lot of top-ranked opponents. So wouldn't be absurd to see it. All right. Let's go 184.
This one's fun.
4 weights. Let's go. It's Aaron Brooks. I like that guy.
Versus Rocky Jordan.
Rocky Jordan. I like him too.
And you forgetting to give the listeners the rankings, man. Come on. Aaron Brooks, number 8. Rocky Jordan, number 12. I worked hard on these rankings. I took my lunch today updating these rankings. Come on, man.
Wow. I'll do better. I'll do better in the future, bud. All right. I think I'm going to take Aaron Brooks by 3 here. Just like we said, he had that tough loss to Taylor Venz earlier in the season, and it's like a flip switch, right? He got a very dominant win against Abe Assad. He got a nice
You
win
know who
against
beat
Johnny
Taylor
Sebastian.
Vance?
Abe Assad, yeah.
Rocky Jordan.
Rocky Jordan.
Oh man. Oh.
Yeah.
I think they both wrestled similar opponents in Abe Assad and Taylor Vance and stuff like that. But I think that I'm gonna go with Aaron Brooks here. I think he has a little more offense. I think he's a little more dynamic. I think it might be close, but I think it'll be a decisive decision, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
All right, what you guys got?
So I will go next because I am the other way. I think this is for me, this is the most pivotal match of the duel. I said, there were obviously other swing matches, Heinzelman, Leary for me were both swing matches, but in my mind, I also kind of view them both as the favorite. And so this match right here, though, is where I'm thinking that if Ohio State's going to win the duel, they need one. There's obviously another really big match at the end we're going to talk about. But, I think they need this one if they're going to win the duel. And I can see it going either way, man. I mean, these guys are both very talented freshmen, having very good years this year. Aaron Brooks is 10-1. Rocky Jordan is 27-6. And they've had kind of crazy results, right? Some of them, Brooks has beaten some guys that Jordan has lost to, and vice versa. And so I think it's a really hard one to pick, and I can't really figure out how the styles match up. Honestly, looking at it, it's been kind of confusing to me. But I do think that Rocky is kind of rounding into form and getting a little bit better. Yeah, he did just take a loss to Owen Webster of Minnesota, to Abe Assad of Iowa. But he also has that Taylor Vance win on his resume, whereas Brooks's resume, that is a loss. So, looking at that, I'm looking at the highest caliber guy that they've both wrestled. Taylor Vance returning All-American. Rocky Jordan won. Aaron Brooks didn't. I could see it going either way, but if the Buckeyes want to win, they got to win this one, and I have no problem picking a Jordan.
I'm sorry.
So I'm going to go Rocky Jordan by decision.
I think I'm going to I think using the Taylor Vance clause is probably – it's not very good because Taylor's taken several losses this season. He's been having a little bit of a down year. He was right there at the national tournament last year. He was looking really, really good. And he comes out this year and he's taken losses to, was it Cam Caffey and Rocky Jordan?
All-American threat.
Yeah, but lower ranked guys that you wouldn't expect, a title or a finalist contender to be up against, right?
Well, he also almost stole one from Zahid, so
he did.
It just depends on who
he started up here, and he has consistently been declining as the season's progressing, and I don't know what that's due to, but his results aren't really lying because he has taken losses to guys ranked much lower than he has, and that's disappointing because I'm a big Taylor Vance guy. He came out there and he tried to hammer Zahid. That match was so awesome. That was week one of stinking college wrestling. But so I don't think his loss here really has as much effect as his win over Brooks. I don't think it's as a transitive as we've seen because he's taken other losses. I'm sorry, that was a lot of verbal vomit.
That's all right. I'm in between you guys. I'm right down the middle. I'm taking Brooks. This weekend I was at Wildwood, and one of the guys on my team, Carter Neves, is an 8th grader at Graham, and he's really, really good, and he's big, so he's wrestling with Rocky Jordan a lot and Micah Jordan in the St. Paris Graham room. And the stories he was telling me about just Jeff Jordan and the Jordan family at St. Paris Graham and how big wrestling is to them. Especially it's this close to their duel where Rocky Jordan is really going to get tested against a guy like Aaron Brooks. Really, really makes me want to change my pick. But especially after watching Rocky knock off Taylor Vens, I think this match is great. I think Rocky Jordan is just so technically sound in so many positions, and he's so powerful. He's going to present some problems to Aaron Brooks. But, man, Aaron Brooks gets it done when he needs to.
Dude,
and
Rocky lost to Owen Webster and 3 weeks ago, and Aaron majored Owen Webster 2 nights ago. So
there's some transitive property stuff that would confuse you if you dive into that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with Jacob though. I am really curious to the technique stuff here. I can't look at this matchup and their styles and go, yeah, this is going to favor Brooks in this position, and then this position is going to favor Jordan, and this is where these guys are going to get. I can't see that. I can't try to look at their stuff and see that. They're really different styles in some ways. In some ways, they're really similar styles, and maybe we can get Mike Mao to give us a breakdown on that. But I'm going to take Brooks. He's favored to win this one. But again, I don't feel very confident in it.
Yeah, I think that one of the big things for me, like you're kind of saying, is on the feet. I don't know. It could go either way. I could see Rocky. I could see Rocky getting that single on Brooks, and I could see Brooks, with a double. I could see it going both ways on the feet. So that'll be interesting, and that'll probably end up, obviously whoever ends up on the feet winning is going to probably win the match. But another thing that kind of swung the match for me was Rocky Jordan. All the Jordan brothers are good on top, and I can see a riding time point here. I don't think that it's nothing against Aaron Brooks on bottom. I think that he, obviously is awesome and is well equipped to get out on bottom, but freshman year, still kind of getting into college. Sometimes it's hard to get out against these high level guys. And when you got a guy that is also high level on top, like Rocky Jordan is, I can see a riding time point here. So that's kind of what swung it for me.
I think the only way a riding time point is given here if there's a takedown or reversal. So it's not going to be one off this guy choosing bottom and this guy riding him out.
Yeah.
Both of those guys are really good at putting on a ride. I don't think either one can turn each other. But both guys are pretty solid at putting on a good long ride.
That was a great ride up that Brooks had against Assad, where he would hook the ankle, and every time Assad stepped that far leg up, he'd reach across and pick the ankle and drive him back down to the hip. All this work of coming all the way back up.
I had flashbacks of Markhal Zahid at Rec Hall.
Yeah.
That was what he did the whole match.
It was
ride.
He
sat on the ankle and he fought on this side. It's like the Penn State ride. It's kind of I've talked about this before. Penn State shares their techniques within the teams so well. Neville's shows up there, and Jason Nolf was pretty good at this in high school. But both guys were really good at this in high school in the overcaller position, and it trickles down to everybody. Now Shaq is there all the time, and Chenzo uses that a bunch. And Chenzo's inside trip melted off onto everybody. Melted off. I made that
Interestingly, I don't think that
I liked it.
The ride,
you like it?
The ankle hook ride, I don't think that's necessarily one guy's technique. I think that's a Casey Cunningham thing. I think that's just a thing that they do. Yeah. Well, I know we do that at M2 too, and M2 is a lot of Penn State technique because it's run by David Taylor and Eric Thompson and Mark McKnight, who all go to the NLWC every day. So it's an interesting technique. Also, question: my high school coaches and I talk about this often, but is it stalling to sit on that ankle?
No. Not inherently, no.
I don't think
Not
so.
Inherently.
No, I don't think so.
You can make it stalling really
Oh,
easy.
of course. Yeah, you make anything stalling.
Right.
But
not inherently.
It's the thing they're saying is that these guys are not working to score. And then there's two arguments to that. One, how do you know what their intention is? You can't decide what their thoughts are. They might be working to score or not. The second one is...
by that logic, you can't call anything stalling then. Or any non-specific rule stalling.
It's always subjective. That's the thing with stalling. And that's why it's such a hard call to get, because it's an always subjective call.
Top stalling is getting worse.
Yeah, people are gaming the system.
I think it's kind of weird too in that position for me. I think if it's stalling or not kind of depends on the upper body because sitting on the ankle, like obviously, impedes the guy on bottom's getting out. But that's the whole point of being on top, right? And so if the guy is sitting on that ankle and his upper body, his arms aren't doing anything, then it's stalling. If you're just sitting on that ankle, just sit on it. But if he's got a spiral going or a claw or something where he's actually also holding the upper body down, then no, I mean it's a ride. It's fine. So
it's interesting. Maybe this should be a topic for the podcast. So we don't have to dive into this, but think about the difference between a ride and an active attempt to score.
Yeah.
And as your responsibility as the top wrestler is to work for points. You know, that's what you're supposed to be doing. So it's just
about if we should keep the riding time point or not. I think that's a kind of a topic that's come up recently.
Here's what we should do. Listen to this. You can have the riding time point if you score back points during the match. It'll be just like a 5-point tech fall, right? You only get a 5-point tech fall if you score riding points during the match. Otherwise, it's a 4-point tech fall. So not riding points, I mean back points. So you have to. I think that would be a really, really interesting thing. If you want to get that extra point, you gotta get a set, even a 2 count. But something we can talk about another time. Let's move on to. This is the third time we've seen this match, I believe. But 197, Colin Moore versus Shakur Rashid. And I think we're pretty overwhelmingly Colin Moore here.
Yeah. Except you don't have a major. Jacob and I have majors.
Yeah, I think that Shakur's been able to keep it close with Colin in the past, and I think that he will have a game plan not to get majored. So, obviously he's going to go and try to win, but I think that Shakur is going to be prepared not to give up lots of points, especially if the match is coming close. So, but this is an interesting thing for me. So we've been watching Shakur. He made a comeback, or not a comeback, but he made his return to the mat this season and hasn't been delivering the same amounts of wins and point scoring that he's been known for. He was off for an injury a really long time. Ever since last year, it's been the same injury that's bothering him. And we know that he's not a worse wrestler. He still has the skill and ability. But it's clear when you watch him that there is mental blocks going up in his head, and he's having trouble working his things that he's known for. And that's got to be really demoralizing to go out there and be this funky guy who can slap on cradles, who can ride guys into the ground, who can score a lot of points. It'd be really exciting. And you're going out there and the stuff you're trying isn't working. And that's just demoralizing. And you're like, I'm taking losses to guys. I can't trust my knee. What's happening to me? So, but so every win he gets, I don't know what it's like in his head, but I can only imagine it's just a little bit more confidence. Every time he's on the mat and he gets a win, it's more confidence. He's getting back into his groove. Yeah. And so I think that a match like this against Colin Moore, who's so dominant right now on the college scene, I don't think it's going to do him any good, especially bringing him back. And I don't know where it would set him back, but the fear would be this would cause him to work backwards against his mental progression. That's just something I've been thinking about. I don't know if it'll happen or not. Nobody knows. Only Shakur Rashid knows. This is something that he's got to work through.
No, it's a very interesting aspect of the sport in general, and sports in general is coming back from an injury.
Right.
I think that, especially that ACL, that's definitely something that weighs on your mind coming back because, for months and months, your knee has basically not been stable, and when you've moved it a certain way, it's hurt. It's kind of pulled out of joint. Whatever
Scary.
That feeling is. I've never torn my ACL, so I don't know that feeling. But summer after my freshman year in high school, I I broke both my ankles and my arm at the same time. And so, yeah,
Oh, man.
I had nine surgeries on my right ankle, and I still can't move it or bend it or anything like that. And I'll tell you from my experience, which is obviously not an ACL, but, also having an injury that's, even, what is it? 9 years later, still affecting me every day. Like it's definitely something that weighs in your mind every time you wrestle, because it's, it's not like before where you kind of had like no holds bar mentality, just throwing caution to the wind. Now even as healed as my ankle has gotten, when people grab it, when we wrestle, I wrestle in the room with my guys all the time. When people grab it, there's still that kind of like hesitant, like, is this going to hurt kind of feeling going on.
Yeah.
And so that's definitely something that's going on with Shakur. And I don't blame him for it. I mean, that's natural. It's really hard to get that mental edge all the way back. But, when I look at this matchup, Colin Moore is 2-0 against Shakur Rashid. Both of them have been just decisions. But with that kind of mental, block, it's not a block because he's getting through it. Like you're saying, he's getting better every time he gets out there. But when
It's a setback.
yeah, with that mental setback he's got going on right now, I'm going to take, and how good Colin Moore's looked, I'm going to take Colin Moore by decision. I mean, there's just multiple factors that are going into that. I don't think that it's a crazy runaway match for Colin Moore, but I think that we don't really have an optimized Shakur Rashid. And, it also depends on what flavor lollipop he's sucking on. So
It depends.
Well, we'll see. But I got Colin Moore by decision. Or major.
You're a lot nicer. You're a lot nicer to Shakur Rashid than you were last time.
Yeah,
you trashed him last time.
He's growing on me.
Is he? Is he now?
Yeah.
What's your favorite flavor lollipop?
Cherry. Easy.
Ooh, cherry's a really good one. Sam,
Yeah,
go.
I think I like lemon.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
Oh.
I like grape. Give me the grapes. I like the grape Dum Dums. First of all, I always get the mystery Dum Dums. Take them off.
Ooh, I'm a maker. I can't do that. I gotta know.
You gotta know.
Yeah.
All right. This has been Lollipop Hour.
Yeah.
Home at advantage.
Lollipop Hour followed by gas tank, or right after the gas tank hour we had earlier.
Hey, it looks like we're coming right back around to that gas tank.
Yeah, we gotta jump up to the gas tank.
Sheets has all that, but we can talk about both those things. But jumping up, so did we get Sam? Your pick?
So I'm taking Colin Moore by major decision.
Cool.
Colin Moore, major decision. That's not absurd. It's not absurd at all.
Thank you.
Whoa.
I appreciate your approval.
Okay. Hey, quick shout out to my guy, Jace Rosencrans on Instagram, because Sam did an Instagram post which had our Google Doc in it, and he said, "Who do you agree with most?" And Jace replies to the story and says, "Jude." Team Jude.
Well, if you want to say that, we also gotta throw out a shout out to our man. Is it Dyson Gould?
Ooh,
Is that his last
Dyson
name?
Gould. I
Yeah.
love Dyson.
Our man
I love
Dyson.
fighting with him about stupid things.
He's the best.
Dude,
He's
I'm
our
really
Hawkeye
growing to like him a whole lot. Yeah.
He's a
Well,
He's
we
great.
gotta have him on
Tune
the
into
next
Wrestling Recess. Tune into
Yeah.
Wrestling Recess on PA Power.
PA Power.
He's doing a great job
Shout
over
out.
there.
PA
one.
Power.
We gotta have him on one over here though, because he just
That'd be
commented
awesome.
also on the same Instagram post and said that he agreed with me the most. So,
We've had a lot.
whatever you think, I always got somebody too. So,
Yeah. We all got somebody.
Guys, we love our fans. We love you all. You guys are really fantastic. Okay. We got to get through this, guys. 285. It's Seth Neville's. It's Gas Tank Gary.
Mm-hmm.
Question. Will Gas Tank Gary's will he take a stop at the gas station and pick up some big snacks and fuel up his car and get away? Or will Big Snacks be the one putting the price on the gas and
you tried. You really tried.
I had it's just you got to think like gas station and you buy snacks at the gas station. It's just I'm just tired.
Yeah, that's a different podcast, man.
Different podcast.
Yeah, so you guys can back me up on this. When we first originally sent the doc out, I had Gas Tank Gary in all caps. I was firmly going with Gas Tank, and then because the way I did the score out, I knew that Ohio State was going to have one upset somewhere, and so.
But you picked two.
I was gonna call you after that. I was like, "Why did you pick Gas Tank Gary here?"
What? Where's the second one? The one we
Rocky Jordan.
Well, Rocky. Yeah. Well, I didn't pick Gas Tank Gary, so I ended up going with Neville's by decision. But I picked Gas Tank Gary originally, and I was so into the Gas Tank Gary persona, and I was wanting it to happen. But then when I sat down and looked at it, I was like, Rocky Jordan is way more of a likely match. He's way more of a likely victor out of the two. Yeah, if
you're gonna pick
matchups. And so I kind of had to put a Gas Tank in the back seat to keep my credibility. But I'm gonna take Neville's by just the decision.
I think so too.
The Gas Tank makes a strong comeback in the third period.
Oh, great question! Does Tank Gary's dad throw shirts into the stands at Rec Hall, or not Rec Hall, BJC?
I think Gas Tank Gary's dad tries to give Kale a shirt.
Just like walks up, he's like, here, take it.
Like right before the match.
Kale Sanderson wearing Gas Tank Gary's shirt in the duel.
Gas Tank Gary
That'd be
comes
like
in
the
with a
biggest
t-shirt
troll
gun.
of all time.
T-shirt gun from the top of BJC and just shoots it all the way down, lands right on top of Kale's bald head.
We
takes it off.
We could call our segment Monday Website Toppers.
There we go.
Totally like reverse.
Why do we just have to copy everything Flo does? Let's be a home.
We don't.
Advantage.
It's completely different. Different.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, I think we're all taking Seth Neville's by decision here.
Yeah.
Pretty decisive. Yeah. But I just want to talk about this match because we got to start getting to it. But at 141 pounds, number one versus number two, quite possibly Big Ten Finals and NCAA Finals prequel. But Nick Lee versus Luke Pletcher, it's happening. We've never seen it before. Luke's been looking so dominant this season. Lee's been looking so dominant this season. What's going to happen? Sam Herring, go.
Nick Lee wins by decision.
Wow. Give me your reasoning, bud.
I got to be honest. I don't have too much reasoning. I really have no idea what's going to go down in this match. They both wrestle so similar, so high-paced. They destroy everybody. I feel a little bit higher on Nick Lee, but I can't tell you why. I'm going to know after this match.
Yeah, I think, first of all, it's very easy to say that Nick Lee and Luke Pletcher are head and shoulders above the rest of the guys.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see a possibility. I don't even see a possibility, honestly, where there's a different finalist. I think these are the guys that make the finals. Obviously, it's hard to say that because we thought Myanmar was a lock for a champion last year, and he wasn't. But I really do think that it's these two guys in the finals of, like you said, Big Tens and NCAAs. For me, I actually this is one where I do see a path to victory. I see Nick Lee coming out, taking a bunch of shots. Not taking a bunch of shots like crazy,
not reckless.
No, not reckless. But I see that Nick Lee is very much an aggressive wrestler, and I see him coming out taking good shots. But that's kind of where Pletcher thrives. Pletcher really thrives in those like short offense, go behind scenarios. And I think that, with sometimes, Nick Lee length that he has is obviously great. And if you have a guy that has length and is able to use that length, he's going to be very good. But it's going to be really hard to get in on that short, stocky frame of Pletcher. And I can definitely see Nick Lee shooting in on a good shot, not a bad shot at all, a good shot, but I can see Pletcher stopping the shot with a go behind, some kind of I think it's going to be a one takedown match, right? I don't see this being a crazy match. I see it being like a 3-2. But I see, maybe in the third period when they're kind of letting it hang out at the end, Nick Lee taking a shot, Pletcher go behind. And I think that wins the match for him. So I got Pletcher by decision.
Gosh, I hope not. These guys have just been so offensive all season long, and it would make me so angry. Yeah, I'm going to say angry because Luke Pletcher historically has gotten me really fired up with just how defensive he is, and he wins all these really close matches, really boring, and it just, I don't know. It just makes me mad. It has made me mad. It would infuriate me to no end if Pletcher comes out here and resorts back to old Luke Pletcher. I really just hope it would make me mad, but I really hope that he comes out there guns blazing and they just have a shootout, and it's just fantastic.
I don't think it's smart though. I don't think it's smart if you're either of these guys to come out guns blazing.
No, well, this is the fan. Jude Swisher says,
absolutely.
I want them to just kill each other.
Oh, I would too.
Tech each other at the same time.
Tech each other at the same time. So Nick Lee, interestingly, doesn't look super strong compared to Luke Pletcher. Pletcher just looks like just a bull.
Gorilla.
A gorilla. But
and so
you can think that something I have in my head, and I don't even think this is an issue. I mean, it's obviously it could be, but does Nick have trouble finishing on Luke because of Luke's hips and legs? Is that something in your mind?
Not to me. I think Nick Lee's so crisp, clean, and quick on his finishes that he's just going to be able to get it. And we haven't seen too much crazy defense from Luke Pletcher. He won that amazing scramble against Real Woods at the beginning of the year.
I was just gonna think about that. I was just gonna call back.
Yeah, but that's I don't know. I still think either one of them gets in on the other one's legs and it's a finish. Gosh, the more I think about this match, the more I can get confused. I can make myself think, yeah, Nick Lee for sure, and I can make myself think, yeah, Luke Pletcher for sure. I really don't know who's gonna win this one.
I have a question. Whoever wins this match, do you think it's going to be the same result at Big Tens?
Yes.
And at NCAAs?
Yes. So
you think whoever wins this is national champ at 141?
I think it's a very unlikely situation, but there's no reason to predict otherwise. I am a big believer in this. I'm a huge believer in this. And this makes me mad when people predict. I've heard a few instances where I can understand it. Especially with the best 2 out of 3 series, when someone goes, I pick him, but in 3, it's no. If you think one guy's better, you think he's better. And the only thing
every time,
yeah, and that's how I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say if I think a guy's better, I think he's gonna be better every time. But I could see a Cale Sanderson wizardry coming in to game plan, and I could see him literally trading. I could see Nick Lee taking this one, Pletcher in Big Tens, and Lee and NCAAs. I could see any combination of the 3. I could see both of them going 0-3. I could see them both going 2-1, and yeah, I could see it going any combination of it.
Well, so you have to agree that the more you wrestle a person, this happens. People get figured out.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You figure out the things that happen. So I don't think that saying, "Oh, Seth Grosh beat RBY here, but I think RBY will better adjust for the next match." I don't think that's absurd to say because I think that RBY
I don't think it's absurd to say, but I don't
It's
you're
just
discounting Seth Gross.
Of course. Well, so that's what's that? The book written by the Chinese general, the Art of War, right? He says that your opponent will always get a say.
Right.
Your opponent will always get a say in what happens. So, keeping that in mind, what are the picks?
So, first of all,
I already said it.
Like you said, I want to jump right back in on what Jude said. When you play multiple times, sometimes you kind of do figure things out. and it gets a little closer, or maybe flips the other way. I think personally, for me, I think that scenario right there where it could possibly flip, I think that favors more Lee.
I do too.
I think I
do too.
for sure, because I think that I can see, Nick Lee being more dynamic the second time, picking up new things or figuring out how to finish a shot a little bit better. I don't see. I could definitely see, like, I'm going to stick with Pletcher, and I'm going to say that Pletcher is going to win the matchups, all three of them. But I don't see it going the other way. If Lee wins the match, I think it goes 3-0 Nick Lee. I think I don't think that, nothing against Pletcher, but I don't think his style and body type and the way that he wrestles, I just don't see him making the adjustments to beat Lee if he loses.
No, yeah, so. And all the wrestling that we've seen Luke Pletcher do, this season, from last season to this season, has been the biggest change of his ever in his career. And all he did was start getting his hands locked on legs and realizing, wait, I'm actually really, really good at shooting and taking people down. Let's do this all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. No, it comes down to who is more likely to make the adjustments and to change their style and to say what I did was wrong and here's how I got to fix it. And I think that I'm going to edge Nick Lee here.
Yeah.
So, but gosh, I could not even begin to pick the score. I think it's going to be decision, but I can't tell you what the score is.
So I got an interesting question to pose to you guys both, real quick. So if I said it at the beginning. I don't know if you guys agree with it or not, but I said that I think Nick Lee, Luke Pletcher, two best guys in the country, head and shoulders above everybody else. I think they're the two in the final, and I don't really see there being anybody else that could sneak in the finals. With that being said, though, I'm looking at the flow rankings over here. So if there was a guy that snuck into the finals that was not named Lee or Pletcher, who do you guys got?
Real Woods.
Me too. Absolutely.
Demas.
Hesitation. Yeah.
Good. Really? You got Demas?
Demas obviously, he's beaten Nick Lee. He beat him bad.
He also struggled with Ian Parker yesterday or the day before.
I just think that Demas's upside is very, very high. Obviously finalist caliber. He's beaten the guys that we've talking about. So I think that Real Woods is another good contender. Chad Redd's also pretty good too.
Because I like Real Woods against Pletcher, and I like Demas against Lee. I'm not saying I'd pick them, but those are the matchups I like. If it ends up where it's Lee 1 seed, Pletcher 2 seed, Woods 3, and Demas 4.
That would be awesome.
What if you got a Woods Demas finals?
Oh, that would be awesome.
Would that be the biggest mind blower of
I will say
NCAA
this.
tournament?
Nobody would have predicted that.
I will say this though, even if they get to the finals, whatever, I can only see Woods winning an NCAA title aside from Lee and Pletcher. I can't see Demas winning it. Because even if Demas takes out Nick Lee, I don't think he beats Pletcher or vice versa. I just don't think he can run the gauntlet. I think Real Woods can. I'm not going to predict that. I'm not going to say it's going to happen. But I think that if there's another guy, I think it's him.
It's a good question to ask.
That was a great question, Jacob. Dude, if you had put that in the Twitter whenever we do a show, we would have asked that. But
full of them.
To be a part of it. Full of them.
All right, let's add up scores.
Final score.
Shoot first.
I got PSU winning.
Of course.
It's kind of absurd. But I'm saying 27-6. They're taking Meredith, RBY, Lee, Pfeiffer, Joseph, Hall, Brooks, and Nevels. Combined score 100.
All toss-ups are going Penn State's way in your
it's not meant to be. It's just a pick'em, guys. It's just supposed to be fun.
They are pick'ems. And honestly, I'm the other way. I got the Ohio State 19-16. And our scores are really different. Like you said, those really 3 matches or 4 matches, I guess, Meredith Heinzelman, Cleo Pfeiffer, Brooks Jordan, and even Lee Pletcher are all pretty much pick-em matches. So, like,
Yeah.
either way, whoever you pick in any of those, I don't fault you for it. Like, I could see all of them going both ways. So, but I got 1916 Ohio State.
Love it.
Love it.
I got 2014 Penn State with like one match flips. Like if Pletcher wins, it's 17-17. If Roxy Jordan wins, it's 17-17. So like I got it really close.
Yeah, but I think if it yeah, that's just hard. What would the criteria be? What's criteria 2?
I think it's first. I think obviously like past unsportsmanlike stuff. I think it's pins.
Well,
yeah,
and you're picking no pins. So what would it be after that?
I think it goes to text and majors. I think it might be most matches won, and in that sense, I have it
because you're picking 2 majors and
I have it 6-4. But if one of those flips, I have it.
Then it'd be 5-5. Next criteria.
It might just be a major decision.
But you're picking 2 and 2.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know.
No, you're not. You're picking Hall for 3.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But no, I got RBY and Joseph.
Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah, you're right.
So I've got them right here. The first tiebreaker is greater number of victories. So, who has one more? We got 5-5. Combined total number of falls. So you said there's no falls. Total match points scored only from decisions, majors, and technical falls. So excluding pins, the total.
That values Penn State, in my opinion. Or that helps Penn State.
I think so too.
I could see RBY racking up points.
Same with Hall and Joseph.
I agree.
Yeah. And I could see Moore getting a major, but it won't be like a high point major. Like it'll be like a 9-1 major.
Yeah.
And I could see RBY scoring a 17-11 major. Or no, 17-9 major or something like that.
No pins. Interesting. I think it's weird that we don't really pick pins. Like you can't. There's no confidence in picking a pin. Saying like, oh, I really think this guy's gonna go and pin him.
Yeah, I like Iowa duel. I picked Spencer Tech. Like I don't even remember the last time I picked a pin.
Yeah, it's been a while. All right. Hey, does that tickle your guys' itch? We done with this?
Where do you start, real quick? Where do you start if you're Tom Ryan?
If I'm Tom Ryan, I guess I'm starting at. I'll start at Colin Moore. I start at Moore, and then you get this nice like starting off with a bang. You're going through. Heinzelman squeaks a win. Decatur wrestles close against RBY. Pletcher gets a win. Sasso gets a win. Cleary gets a win.
Yeah.
You get this momentum going.
I'm starting 49.
Ryan, yeah, I was gonna say I would say either 49 or 57. I'm starting.
Well, because you're favored and you're probably favored in both 49 and 50. So opening up the duel they're not in Rec Hall, right? They're in
it's in BJC.
Bryce Jordan Center. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Bryce Jordan Center, opening up in the Bryce Jordan Center with 2 wins, and then leaving it up to the main event at the end where Tom Ryan and Cale Sanderson are both confident in their guys. But I would love, if I'm Tom Ryan at Penn State, I would love nothing more than to see my duel come down to that end at 141.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I would, if I were Tom Ryan, like I would go 57. That's where I'm going.
Yeah, I know.
Let Sasso close it out. Like that would help a lot, in my opinion.
Yeah, when I pick matches for my high school team, I always try to find where's the weight that I can start off with a win and end with a win. I want to have that open and close. So.
And if you're Cale, I start at 84.
And he's gonna start at 25. That's just their thing.
Yeah, but if you're Cale, like what benefits them the most is what I'm saying.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I say 84.
I think you're right too. 84 sounds good to me.
I could see if you're Cale, I could see. Yeah.
Ending with
so.
Joseph Hall's pretty nice.
Pretty nice. All right, hey guys, we got to wrap up this recording. It's been a long time. I'm very tired.
Jude has a
Y'all are in
bedtime.
Eastern time too.
Bedtime.
So,
Districts are
yeah.
coming up. Got to compete. All right, hey guys, thanks for coming on and listening to our podcast. Thank you to Jacob Hughley. He's our really good friend. He does our fantasy wrestling updates that we put on HMA Wrestling. It's playoff weeks. If you guys didn't know, because I'm beating Sam in both of our in 1 and 2.
Ooh.
Oh, he's sad.
The trash talk.
Man.
You gotta change your name, Sam. Something about lollipops, and you'll win.
No. Oh no.
Tonight.
Hey, Jacob, are you in any you're not in any fantasy leagues with me, right?
No, you. No.
How are you doing? How are you doing in yours? I bet you're just killing it.
Yeah, I'm the 1 seed right now. I'm 13-2, and the only 2 matches I lost were week 3 and 4, and both of them were 1 point, and both of them I had guys that I started that didn't wrestle. So,
ouch.
Yeah,
I gotta be honest.
Not wrestling.
I've done nothing. I drafted my team. I haven't done anything.
I went back and I drafted Brooks and Neville's and all these. I just went through the free agency and picked up guys who were doing well.
Yeah. So here, thing, if you're actually thinking about like how to win fantasy, you got to work the portal. You have to. You can't have any allegiance to anybody.
Right, and especially because you're not it's impossible to just predict who's going to be good and who's going to be bad from week 1 of the season. The week's it's like a 20-week season. So just got to be willing to make adjustments and not stick with the team. All right.
Definitely.
Guys,
all right, that's where to sign off.
Thank you guys for listening to Home Advantage Wrestling Podcast. We will see you guys, who knows, maybe next week. Maybe the weekend.
All right.
Maybe
we're looking for interviews coming out too. We're trying to set up a few, so stay tuned for that. I'll let you guys know with more details. But that's it. I'm out.
We're out.